All right, guys, we are live. So the wife is in the hospital right now. She's getting the procedure done. So it's going to take a couple hours. So I came out here to Rancho Cucamonga Courthouse. Now, Sheep Show went live today. He was in Hesperia, and they're open here from Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5. Here's the entrance. I'm not going to go in for a reason. Let me get back to that. Now, Sheep Show went live in Hesperia. What's up, Wolverine Transparency? What's up out here in California? So Sheep Show went live in Hesperia, and he had some issues with some of the security there. And then this one deputy came down, Deputy Van Brimmer, I want to say, and doxed him. Like that matters, right? Everybody knows us by now. And I said, well, if Sheep Show's live in Hesperia, I better be live out here in Rancho Cucamonga for at least a half hour or so. Yeah, I know. Prop 50, Wolverine. Prop 50, the Dems are trying to take over. But anyway, so I come out here to the courthouse. Now, I'm not going inside for a reason. It's to make a point that there's no ambiguity as to where I was. So I'll say that I've always been, I'm trying to see what the guard's doing. I've always been outside. So if they say, well, he went inside the courthouse and da-da-da, I can say, no, I didn't. I'll say, I've been out here the whole time. So the guard turned around. I was on the other side. I was doing static. And then I said, maybe I should go live. Sheep Show is live. So I turned it to live, but I'm on the other side now. Because the guard had her back to me. And I said, well, that's not very good. Maybe I should go to the other side where the guard is facing me. But I can't see what she's doing. Now, again, the reason, if anybody's wondering why I'm not going inside, it's to actually prove a point. And we're going to go over to the police station in a minute. They're over here for the Rancho Cucamonga Police Department. I guess this is the snack bar. So, well, they have snacks, that's for sure. I guess it's not lunch yet. I got it's 15 minutes. Because normally they'd be cooking up stuff. But, we have a security guard looking at us. So he's checking us out. Kind of trying to not make eye contact with him. See if he says anything. No, he went back to reading his phone. I'm not gonna bug him. He's on a break, it looks like. But he sat back and he was looking at us. But now he's kind of like, yeah, whatever. Oh, I know, Wolverine. The talk to text. Yeah, sometimes you say something I say something to the wife. I don't want to type everything, so I just talk it out, and then she'll respond with, "What? What are you trying to say?" I said, "What am I trying to say?" And I'll look and read it, and I'll go, "Oh yeah, what am I trying to say?" Yeah, that talk to text. The swipe thing too. You can swipe your keyboard to type, and it gives you all these weird stuff, like a foreign language. So this is the police station over here. And Sheep Show Live was talking this morning, and he was saying, there are no good cops. No good cops. And I used to think, there's good cops out there. But I found out just over time, recently the epiphany hit me, there are no good cops. There might be polite people. There might be people that are cordial or hospitable, but if they're cops, they're not good. You know, I mean, they might be polite. Hey, how you doing? All right, you need anything? Yeah, okay, a polite person, good person. But there's no good cops. They're liars. Um, they end of watch. I believe all these flowers and stuff are for Deputy, was it Nunez? That was just shot out here in Rancho Cucamonga. But yeah, there's no good cops. They're liars. They're crooked. They favor people versus actually writing their reports up in accordance with the law. You know what I mean? So like I just had a traffic accident. A guy failed to yield and he pulled out in front. He had a yield sign and he just disobeyed it and pulled out anyway. I didn't have time to stop and I turned my wheel and scraped the side of his truck. And I told the deputy he had a yield sign and he just pulled out in front of me. And the deputy wrote up, I was going too fast. Well, I was only doing like 5 to 7 miles an hour, in a 15 mile an hour roundabout. It's 15 miles per hour. I was doing like 7, maybe 8, but I was in the roundabout and the guy pulled out in front of me. The deputy wrote, well, you're going too fast. Oh, I get it. So when someone pulls out in front of you, you just go, well, the guy was going too fast. That's why he hit me. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. No, not that you pulled out in front of someone. It's that he was going too fast. So at that point, I realized there are no good cops. They favor people. Oh, is this the guy that records us? Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was at fault. Why? Because that guy pulled out in front of me? But anyway, you get what I'm saying. So no, there are no good cops at all. Cops they're crooked. They smudge their police reports. They favor people in their recommendations. Because then I went and talked to the sergeant, and I was talking about I said, well, the investigation, he did it wrong. And he said, well, there's no investigation. He just took statements and made a recommendation. A recommendation? And I'm like, hold on a minute. It's traffic law. The guy failed to yield at a yield sign. And he pulled out in front of somebody and he got hit. But the other guy's at fault? Well, the officer made a recommendation. Oh, okay. So forget the law. Forget the law. It's who do I like more? I like this guy more. So I'm going to recommend he was in the right. That's what I got. And I explained to the sergeant, I said, if somebody disobeys the traffic law, they're wrong. So we got to sit down and redo the police report. And he goes, no, he's not going to rewrite it. So he's justifying a falsified police report. You see what I'm saying? And then he didn't even want to print it for me and sit down with me. I had another complaint some years back, and the sergeant printed the complaint or printed the police report. He printed the call, he read through it, and then he came out and sat with me, and we sat at a conference table and talked about it. This sergeant, he didn't have time to help a member of the public. Instead, he said, well, go print it, and then we'll show it to me. We can discuss it. I said, yeah, and then we can rewrite it. He goes, no, we're going to rewrite it, but we can discuss it. I said, no, I'm not taking the time to do that with you. I did get a copy of it, which was free. But I wasn't going to take the time to sit with that idiot and talk about it. Not if he's going to justify, a falsified police report. But that's how cops are. They watch each other's back. If one lies, the other one goes, oh, well, he has to be right. He's got a badge, dude. Why would he lie? Because he's a cop. You get what I'm saying? The guy, why would he lie? He's a law enforcement officer. Yeah, that's why. And then people are going to go, well, you're just disgruntled. See, you just hate cops because, you're disgruntled. No, if that were true, then I wouldn't have any factual basis for my grievance. But I have a factual basis for my grievance. somebody failed to yield, had a yield sign, pulled out in front of a moving car anyway, got hit, and they said he was in the right and the moving car was wrong. You see what I'm saying? Upside down world here. So I guess what I'm saying there, I talk a lot, guys. For those of you who might be new to the channel, I talk a lot. In fact, I went from 5 people to 2. But my life. But no, I have factual basis for this grievance. We've got Invictus Media. We've got UB Chillin' 909. Invictus. Hey, Crofty. Crofty's here. Yeah, Invictus, I know. They've never honored anybody who's a civilian. You know, they don't put honors for that person. I get that. 100%. I believe this takes us to the carport. Yeah, this is going to take us down to the carport. It's where kind of where I was trying to get to without having to walk around. So there's a cop. So this is their carport loading zone. We're gonna go over, we don't want the service entry. We want where cops come in and out of. I know, Invictus, but I think, and it's only my opinion, YouTube is shadow banning a lot of Cop Watch channels and First Amendment channels. We're gonna go over here real quick while this guy goes in. So let's go over here and record. Put your window up, I can still see you though. So this is their personal parking area. Police vehicles only. That's probably a police captain right there, huh? Or lieutenant. That's not the captain. Probably lieutenant. There's somebody on the phone. There's somebody. What is she stopping for? I guess she thought I was crossing the street. There's a crosswalk right here. Like I said, I thought I'd come out here and go live real quick till a wife calls and says her procedure's done, and then I can head back over there. There has to be more people than that. I can hear a lot of talking and chatter behind the gate there. Yeah, there's a lot of chatter over here. Lawrence, shadow banning is where, like there's an algorithm on YouTube. And the algorithm, and this is just the short version, try to keep it short, is that the algorithm will tell the program or the website how to rate your videos, so to speak. So, okay, they'll put your videos, let's say your video at number 200 for the day, where somebody else's video might be 275 for the day. Or 85 for the day, on a list of most important videos. And then people will, more people will see the more important videos as the algorithm lists them. These are the most important for the day, or these are the trending for today. And there's an automatic algorithm that does that. And so shadow banning is where like the algorithm will catch a word like amendment, First Amendment, or Cop Watch, or something of that nature. And the algorithm will catch those keywords and they'll move your video down the list of trending or important videos. So then the result is you get less views than you should because of the keywords or what have you, because of the algorithm. That's shadow banning. Is they're basically keeping people from seeing your video by moving you down the algorithm or down the list. And I believe that YouTube is doing that, and it's based on keywords. That's just my opinion. Because I used to get several views. I used to get hundreds of views, maybe sometimes 1,000, 2,000. And now I'm lucky to get 100. You know? Thank you for watching, Lawrence. I mean it. It's important for you guys to watch. But yeah, I used to get a whole lot of views, man. And all of a sudden, I seen them dwindle away to almost nothing. And I'm also seeing that with other of these First Amendment channels and these cop watch channels. I'm seeing them getting less views. So I think there's like maybe a keyword that YouTube's algorithm is picking up. Like when COVID hit, if you put COVID in your title, the algorithm would catch that word COVID and they would literally make your video unwatchable. I know, Invictus, it happens. But yeah, when COVID broke, that word COVID was literally causing people's videos not to be watched. In fact, there are certain keywords that will cause them to age restrict your channel. So like if, let's say, you go to film a car crash and you don't have any violence or blood in your video, no bodies, just crunched up cars. And you say, yeah, I'm filming car crash in Fontana. All of a sudden your video's age restricted because of the word crash. You see? So, Oh, I thought he was gonna stop in front of me. He's gonna have to put his window down to do the code. So, oh, they always do that if there's nothing bad. Yeah, it's based on code words. So there's specific code words that they use to age restrict your videos. There's certain code words. It doesn't have to be anything bad in the video. And then when you appeal, sometimes I've won appeals where they'll take the age restriction off. Commonly, they don't. Commonly, I lose those appeals. Yeah, Wolverine transparency. I stopped really caring. Somebody was really yelling up in there, giving echoes. Yeah, I stopped caring about it after a while. I make most of my money from my side gig, so. Yeah, it's important, Invictus. And I've made change. People always say, oh, you're just filming the cops because you hate them. You're not doing anything. No, I've made change. I had one citizens patrol, which is like a volunteer. They volunteer to help the police department. But he walked over to me. He goes, hey, I just wanted to meet. You're Jimmy. And then he said, yeah, there's a new policy handbook on social media. I said, oh yeah, and I just dismissed it. And he said, and it's named after you. I said, what are you talking about? And he said they have a new policy handbook on how to deal with people in the social media sector. And he goes, and it talks about people who record the police, and it mentions you. I was like, get out of here. In fact, this girl I used to work with, she went to San Bernardino Valley College, took some courses there, and apparently they had a thing on social media do's and don'ts. And under the social media don'ts, she said a picture of me popped up with with my iPhone camera, and they were talking about recording the police. I was like, so I made a college course. I made the college course. That's funny as hell. But no, I've made change out here. When I was doing my Red Light Runner series, the city of Yucaipa, California, I was doing my Red Light Runner series in front of the high school, and the city approved a, what do I want to say? They approved putting a red light camera in front of the high school. So based on my Red Light Runner series, the city put in cameras around the high school at the traffic lights, based on my Red Light Runner series. So you can't tell me I'm not making change out here. You know, look at this, guys. This was just sitting here. See how God blesses you? Wolverine, do you see how God blesses you? See that, Invictus? I'm just standing here recording, and there's a coin laying right here. Interesting. I wonder if someone forgot it. But that's how God blesses you when you pay tithes. Interesting. It was just sitting right here. Interesting. Maybe they put it there for me. Maybe someone left it there and said, well, Jimmy's going to come along. He's going to need a coin. I'm going to keep that. That's interesting. It was just sitting there. Oh, and I know about that, Wolverine. I hear you. Yeah, so many people have just, like, PLA and SGV, they used to go with Riverside County all the time. They used to go with Alcor. Now they all are fighting. Yeah, Lawrence, they say possession is 9/10. And it's in my hand now. So it's a coin that the sheriff's department gives out. And it says like honor, integrity, and so forth. I'm going to keep it. But you know, they're hard to get. They're hard to come by. Yeah, they're... So I was looking at the police car up there. So nobody has said anything yet. Like I said, I'm just passing time until I got to go pick up the wife, which is in a minute here. And it's still in a package and everything. Somebody must have left it by accident. Or maybe the cop gave it to them and they just tossed it up there and said, I don't want that. It is really cool, Invictus. Yeah, it says integrity, selflessness, honor, and commitment. Same things that we have in the United States Army, so I'm going to keep it. But I'm going to start heading back. Oh, I was going to... This ain't a security guard, is it? No. I'm going to start heading back up because I got to start heading towards my car. My wife's going to text me soon within the next half hour and say she's done. But like I said, Sheep Show was live this morning in Hesperia. And I don't know if I think I mentioned this at the very beginning. A deputy doxed him. Well, the security guards didn't want him in a public area. And then he got on a public elevator and they said, well, you can't go up there. It's all restricted. And he said, it's not all restricted. And they said, yeah, you can't, you get off the elevator, you're in a restricted area. Well, he talked to the deputy and he said, well, there are restricted there, which means when you say there are, it means there are also public areas, right? So he said, well, unless you put a sign on that elevator, I'm getting on it. And then the deputy doxed him. But anyway, I said, I'll go out to Rancho Cucamonga and record. See what's up. The Civic Center. Uh-oh, who's that guy? He stopped. The Civic Center, I think this is where the mayor and all them are. Yeah. Upper level. Might be able to, City Hall. So if I pull, can I go in? I guess so. Oh, I see.
Thank you.
Okay. I haven't seen this before. I don't think. Well, I haven't been out here in a while.
Are you making a YouTube video or something?
Yeah, well, we're just out here looking at the Civic Center.
Nice.
It's been a while.
Yeah. It's a beautiful building.
It is. It's. I don't think I've ever been in this part before. Almost looks like a movie theater, or.
Yeah.
So this is amazing. So, public restroom. I've already used it at Kaiser. So the upper level is probably where your mayor and all of them are, because City Hall. Yeah. I just got distracted. So let's look at some of the comments. Wolverine said, happy F the Popo Day. And Wolverine, on that note, free Eric Brandt. He's a political prisoner. Okay, he maybe talked about some judges. He didn't threaten them. He just said, I wish, he wished upon them. But he himself never threatened any judges. He just, but I guess they said it was civic disobedience. Civic disobedience is not allowed in America. No, no, no. You're free until you're not free. So free Eric Brandt. HFTCD. If you know what that means, you know Eric Brandt. HFTCD. He's a political prisoner because some judges got offended and said, well, he's trying to bring harm on us. He's not trying to do anything. He was just speaking his opinion. And I mean, it's not an opinion I would have spoken out loud. I'm a different person. But he wasn't in the wrong so to speak, for saying it. He had free speech. It wasn't protected free speech. I mean, it was protected free speech. I always get that backwards. Um, it wasn't, unlawful free speech. I wonder if we can record inside here. I've gone in here once before, lobby. I guess we can. Oh, I'm good, thank you. I knew Deputy Lobo. I knew him when he was a motorcycle officer, and I knew him. But I thought they would have. Oh, they're over here. Yeah, the captain is Sam Fisk. He is the captain. Which technically means he's the police chief in Rancho Cucamonga. I know there have been people who have said that, like Rancho, Highland, Yucaipa don't have police chiefs. They contract with the sheriff's department. But in essence, the captains are police chiefs of the contracted city. And don't forget to donate, guys, toys. It's for the kids. Throw a toy in there, throw some sweaters, some blankets, whatever, for these unfortunate children that need to have a normal Christmas like the rest of us. Okay, so we're probably gonna get some contact, I'm sure, maybe not. Maybe they'll say, yeah, let him record. Let him record. She didn't jump on a radio or the phone like they normally do. Normally, the front counter people like that, as soon as you're in there, they pick up the phone. But she didn't. She was just reading. Oh, here we go. We got a cop coming. What's he doing? A couple of cops coming. Oh, he's going that way. But yeah, normally they pick up the phone right away. Yeah, here he comes. She did not, but we'll see what this cop's doing. Maybe he's coming this way. Gonna jump out. No, he went that way. He turned quick. He wasn't playing. Yeah, he's gonna come around this way. So, I think he was trying to sneak up on me. What do you think? But this is the Civic Center. Here we go. No, he kept going. He wanted to take a look-see. So this guy over here is waiting to turn. But yeah, nobody came out. I'm sorry, I wish it was a more exciting live, but it wasn't. Apparently, this black car, I think he's waiting on somebody to come get in the car. Now, I was parked down here, so I'm gonna walk down there. Nobody really came out and said anything, but I'm sure I'll hear about this. Aren't you recording at the police department? Yeah, was. So, head back up to the court and then head over to my car. Well, somebody gave $2. I don't know who it is, but thank you. Oh, that was Wolverine. Wolvie. That's what that blue square meant. You didn't have to do that, Wolvie, but thank you. God bless you. Much, much. I saw the blue square and then I looked up and just seen it. I was like, oh, what's that? Tell I don't go live much. So we're almost done here. Come up here one more time. I was gonna go to a post office, and maybe I should have did that, but there wouldn't have been as much to cover. So we're back over here. This is the handicapped entrance. There's a security guard. I don't see any deputies, and normally you see a deputy. I was trying to see how I could zoom. Oh, there you go. I can zoom. You can tell I don't go live much. Yeah, the guard just took off. Oh, there she is. Looks like she might be on the phone. I'm not sure. But I haven't seen any security guards here either. I mean, inside I have. But normally there's a couple of them on a cart, and a little golf cart, and they go around. I haven't seen them. There's no deputies inside here. I'm sure there's court today. Well, it's 12:20, so they're probably all out of court by now. Go around this gentleman. All right. Well, that was real, and that was interesting, but it wasn't really interesting. So I should go live more too. This was something. But don't forget to jump over to Sheep Show Live and catch his live channel. He did a live stream this morning. It's about an hour and a half. You know what I just realized? The guy in Rancho Cucamonga, or the city hall, he said, "Is this a YouTube thing?" And I just realized I have this on. So, yeah, I guess it is a YouTube thing. I'm a freelance reporter. I know people laugh at that, but America has been, what's the word I want to use, indoctrinated to a certain degree to where reporters, journalists are relegated to mainstream media, whether you're in a newspaper or magazine or on a news channel program like KTLA 5 News Los Angeles or KCBS or KCAL 9, CNN. You know, we've relegated reporters and journalists to that. Wherein in the old days, freedom of the press meant that any American could simply give out information. You know what I mean? You didn't have to be, who are you with? You know, you just go, you know, I'm going to start my own little newspaper, or I'm going to start my own little whatever, and I'm going to give out information. And that's kind of where it started from, freedom of the press, because that's what they were doing. They were, I guess, printing press. I could be off there, but that's just kind of what it sounds like. But it was for every American has the right to go out, collect information, and issue them. Oh, somebody's going to do that, Randy. Yeah, they have somebody to come out here and sweep. And they have leaf blowers too, and then they sweep it up. Man, he's flying. I hope he don't have anybody in the back of that van. Dude, he is flying around there. I hope he don't hit nobody. But freedom of the press, it was for every American to be able to give information. It's kind of what it was, right? And over the years, it just became, oh, who are you with? I'm with myself. No, who are you with? Well, you're not press then. You're not a journalist. Why? Because I don't have I'm not, you know, on some news station or have a newspaper. No, that's why it says freelance reporter. I'm freelancing. It means I collect my own stories, and then if somebody's interested, you know, when they had that fight in Yucaipa, California in 2020, my story, my video was on like 5 news channels. It really was. Everybody was talking about that. When they had the fire up in Oak Glen apple orchard, CBS and KCAL 9 used my story for their news channel. In fact, there was a fire in Beaumont, a field fire that got pretty big. There you go, Randy. And there you go. And they used my story, that Beaumont fire. KTLA 5 did a news story on it. They used my video. You know what I mean? So my videos have been on mainstream news. And I guess that certifies me to be a freelance reporter, right? Yeah, no? But so when people say, you're not press, you're some YouTube guy. Oh, so Americans can't exercise freedom of the press on YouTube? Well, who you with? I'm with myself. Yeah, you're not a real reporter. Indoctrination. That's what that is. That's indoctrination. Americans have been indoctrinated that to be a journalist or to be a reporter, you have to be with someone, or have your own network or your own publication. That's not true. This is the age of social media. And in the age of social media, just about any American can gather information and distribute that information, content, create content with it. And you're reporting. I get it. I haven't been to college. But go back and read the First Amendment again. Don't just read the First Amendment. Do a deep dive and see what our forefathers meant. It's been 45 minutes, guys. I thank you all. God bless you, and we will see you here or on the other side.